Hey, today we're going to talk about songwriting. Now, there's a million different ways to start a song. Could be with chords, could be with lyrics, could be as a jam with the band. Today we're going to look at starting with the melody. So I've got 3 different techniques that I want to run through just to help you start a song using melody. So I think this will really help someone who just needs a bit of inspiration. Maybe you haven't been able to write for a little while, or you're not very happy with your writing, or maybe you've been writing a fair bit, but you're finding all your songs kind of sound a bit the same. So maybe just grabbing off one of these techniques and starting your song a little bit differently might bring you that change that you're looking for. So we're going to talk about songwriting, specifically melody. Hey, I'm Craig from the .8 Studio, and this podcast or this YouTube channel is all about helping musicians just go the next level to become music artists in whatever capacity that looks like. So part of that is songwriting. So that's what we're going to look at today, and writing melodies, starting a new song with a melody. So I think I just love melodies. I think melodies are the most important part. And whenever I'm working with songwriters here in the studio, it's always, let's get your melody good and everything else will work. So your rhythm can then come off that, your harmony, your chords, all those sorts of things come off a really solid melody. And everyone's a bit different. Some people have a lyric that they want to put a melody to so that the melody can follow the lyric. That's a perfectly good way to do it. Sometimes you can have a melody and then you can fit a lyric into that. So that's what we're going to kind of do today. So in these 3 examples I've got, the first 2 common, you've probably done those before, maybe you haven't. The third one is a little bit left field, and I'm guessing you probably haven't started the song like that. So that might be really helpful for you. We're going to use the lyrics by Ed Sheeran's Perfect. So dancing in the dark with you between my arms, and however much we need to go with our melody. So let me show you these 3 techniques. The first one is to just come up with a melody completely dry. So what we're going to do is we might just play a chord, whatever key you like. So we're just going to do an A there, and then from there, no extra music, we're just going to write a melody. So using those lyrics off that chord. Barefoot in the dark with you between my arms. So that's all off that, right? So you have to excuse, I'm literally coming up with this off the top of my head. I haven't rehearsed this. Now I've got to remember what I just did. So that was going to be our melody, right? We could do that, and then from there we can make the chords around that. So normally we might start with chords and then try and write a melody. So let's just do that. Barefoot in the dark, you between my arms. So then we'll try and find chords for that. Barefoot in the dark, with you between my arms. Dun, 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 dun. Probably not a G. Da 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 da. So you could do that, or maybe we could try some different chords. So let's start on the F minor. Da 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 da. No, that doesn't sound as good. Barefoot in the dark with nope. Barefoot in the dark with you between my arms. Dun, 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 dun. So you can come up with whatever chords you want, but you start with the melody. So you just give yourself whatever, and then you come up with a melody. So let's quickly try another one. We'll go to a different key. Let's go to C. We'll slow this one down. So barefoot in the dark with you between my arms. Barefoot in the dark with you between my arms. So we did that. Barefoot in the dark with you between my arms. Barefoot in the dark with you between my arms. Barefoot in the dark with you between my arms. And we can change it, so start on the F. Barefoot in the dark with you between my arms. Barefoot in the dark with you between my arms. And why this is really good to do it like that is because you start to muck around with the harmony. So if you're finding with your chords, you're writing really similar melodies off all your chords. So you've got, you play your C chord, so you got your C, E, and your G in it. So you're writing really similar melodies based off what that is. So if you can flip that around and write a melody first, then when you're adding your harmony, your chords in, you might end up with some really different things. See how different this sounds like? Barefoot in the dark with you between my arms. Completely different melody, completely different harmony, sorry, if you start with barefoot in the dark with you between my arms. Even though they're the same, it's the same melody, but the harmony's changed because the chords are different. So that's your first way. Write your melody completely dry and then find chords that fit in it. So I do this in the studio a lot when somebody comes in with chords that are a bit predictable, and the melody might follow the chords a bit too closely, so it sounds a bit cliche. So often I will just keep that melody, the lyrics, they sound great. Just put different chords underneath it and you've got almost a completely different sounding song because the harmony's completely changed. So yeah, that's a technique we use a lot. Next one is come up with a chord progression and then write a melody off that. So let's just do something with A. So often I'll fiddle around with something and try and find something a bit cool. I mean, you can just do normal chords if you want. Go a bit high here. G again. You shouldn't be in there, Mr. G. Just find a progression that you like. See if we can write this. Barefoot in the dark with you between my arms. Barefoot in the dark with you between my arms. Barefoot in the dark with you between my arms. Ooh, about those last couple of notes. So there we go. Just same thing. You get a chord progression that you like, and then you just stick a melody over it. So it helps sometimes, even if you come up with someone else's lyrics like we've done today, and then you can then change your lyrics. But yeah, don't put too much pressure on yourself to have to come up with everything at once. Got to have melody, chords, and lyrics. Bang. So we've taken out the chords because we've figured out those beforehand. Then we're adding on a melody, but we're taking out lyrics as well because we're just using whatever lyrics, or maybe we're using lyrics we've already written or something. But just come up with a progression that you like. Let's just do something else real quick. Let's start on a G sharp minor. No. Barefoot in the dark with you between my arms. Barefoot in the dark with you between my arms. Barefoot in the dark with you between my arms. Yeah, something like that. Let's try another one with the guitar. With this sort of chord technique. So let's try something a bit more punchy. Barefoot in the dark, you are between my arms. Barefoot in the dark, you are between my arms. Different sort of melody there. So hope you get the drift, and yeah, don't judge my melodies too hard, because from there you'll tweak them and you'll figure them out. So the purpose of what we're doing today is just to get some inspiration to start something. So like I mentioned, the first one, just play a chord, give yourself a key, or maybe if you want a real challenge, don't give yourself a key at all and just sing something free and then try and find it. It's easier if you can grab the key because then you know what chords are going to fit in it. The next one is come up with a chord progression and then just put your melody over it. Now the third one, which I reckon is fun and it's worth trying. It's much easier to do on a piano if you've got a piano lying around, but you could figure out how to do it on guitar as well. And that is that we're going to play a chord. So let's stay in A. And And what you do from here is just hit one note within that chord, and that's where you start the melody from, right? So most of the time we're gonna do an A. So you start your melody there, right? So barefoot in the dark, with you in my arms. Barefoot in the dark, with you in my arms. So starting off at A. So what now if we stayed in that same key? So that's our key there, but we started on a B. Oh, barefoot in the dark, with you in my arms. Oh, barefoot in the dark, with you in my arms. Barefoot. Second's hard. Second's a hard one. Barefoot in my arms, with you in the dark. Barefoot in my arms, with you in the dark. Barefoot in my arms, oh, with you in my arms. So that one's a little bit harder. Let's go to the next one. It's going to be the third, so this should be pretty easy. Barefoot in the dark, with you in my arms. Oh, barefoot in the dark, with you in my arms. Oh, barefoot in the dark, with you in my arms. Oh. So, and then we just go through them all, and you just find one that you like. See how they're all kind of different because they're using, it changes the harmony depending on which note you use to start your melody. So you'll find that different ones provide different tensions. Some sound a lot more natural than others. Like, so if we're singing in A major, obviously the tonic and then the major, the C sharp there is going to work. But if we went to the fourth, so let's hit one starting with that D. Barefoot in the dark, with you in my arms. Barefoot in the dark, with you between my arms. Barefoot in the dark. And so on. One more. We'll do one more. So we're up to the E now, which also should sound pretty normal, but probably a lot brighter and a lot happier. Barefoot in the dark, with you in my arms. Barefoot in the dark. Barefoot in the dark. Oh, hello. Barefoot in the dark, with you in my arms. Barefoot in the dark. Barefoot in the dark, with you in my arms. Dun, 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 dun. Barefoot in the dark. And now from here you can go through with some of the other techniques we use. So you can go back to number one here. So if you choose that as your note, that's your melody. Barefoot in the dark. What if you didn't start on the A? What if you started on the E? Barefoot in the dark, with you in my arms. Barefoot in the dark. What if you started on the sixth, the minor? Barefoot in the dark, with you in my arms. All of a sudden you've got a completely different melody. We could try and start on the B minor even. Barefoot in the dark. Whoops. Barefoot in the dark, with you in my arms. That one not so much. So hopefully that's helped you out in some way. If you can please excuse my out of pitch singing, as I was just trying to make up a bunch of songs on the spot on camera. I thought that would be more effective than rehearsing a bunch of things. It's just to show you that, you know, you can do it and you just have to grind a little bit sometimes to get there. So thanks for bearing with me with that. Hopefully this has helped you if you're just struggling for inspiration to songwrite at all. You don't know where to start, or all your techniques haven't been working. maybe try some of these today. Or 2, if you're just writing a lot, but you're stuck in a rut with how you write, so all your songs are sounding very similar, maybe some of these techniques will help you to kind of break out of that box. And if you want some further help, I did a series a little while ago called Songwriting in the Box, which I'll link up here. And that's all about kind of setting some structure around your songwriting so that your songs work. So you're not just throwing things at the wall and hoping something sticks. You've kind of got a plan, and then you can put creative inputs into that plan and come out with a song at the end that people will respond to, that an audience responds to, because it carries a storyline, and it's just an effective way to songwrite. So you can download my free PDF if you want some help with that. It's linked below, or you can go to dot8.com/artist. That would be really awesome. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're getting any value from this, because I'm doing weekly videos all about this very thing, going from musician to artist. I've got some really cool interviews lined up over the next couple of weeks, which I'm super excited about. So subscribe so they all land in your home screen there when you open up YouTube. Hey, make some music this week, and we will talk again soon.